Booger check.
I'm a little bit under the weather this week, so forgive me for my lack of energy.
How you doing, my friend? Today it's another climbing video, and this one is gonna be more focused on slabs. They scared the hell out of me. I just can't, I freeze. There's just my brain works in mysterious ways. So let's get into it. So on day one, obviously we start with warming up the fingers, doing some launches, biceps work. This exercise is really good if you want to work out your core. The challenge is to be able to hold for 1 minute without your arms shaking. And it's truly challenging when you start a little bit of ballerina work. So I start easy, you know, with a V1. What I like to do when I warm up on those is to go as slow as possible and as controlled as possible. I think that we underestimate the power of doing a grade that it's easy for us, but just to do it as controlled as we can. I think it's a great exercise for your technique and your endurance as well. And I try to declimb everything. It just warms me up a little more as well. I don't want to jump on my knees right away when I start. Always take time off between your climbs. I have a hard time with this, it's insane. So this was my first slab of the day. Even though it's a V1, they just scare me. I don't know why. I just imagine my foot slipping and just busting my face in the wall. And the walls are like sandpaper. And even though it's like huge jugs, I still feel stressed at the top of the wall. It's insane. You see me right there. I'm like jumping on it to reassure me that I won't slip. This one's a V3. These are very small finger holds, very crimpy. And there's that big jug on my left that I'm gonna go reach for. And some people are saying like, oh, if you wanna make it harder, forget about the jug. It's like no chance in hell I'm gonna use that jug for sure. This is a little easier because the footholds are very long on the wall, so you have space. It's not like you're gonna slide or something. So it took me a couple of tries to readjust my body over there. Still scary, but I had more control because there was a lot of finger holds. It was always a place where to put my hands, not only on the wall. This one is the one that I just fucking hate that one. By far, one of the most mentally challenging climb that I've done in a while. Technically, I have no problem doing it. I saw some people doing it really easily, and I was like, okay, like I have the strength to do that. I have the technique to do that. It's just right there. My head is telling me, oh, maybe you'll slip, maybe. And then I just got back down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After 7 times, I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go on something that it's gonna make me feel like I know what I'm doing a little more, and then I'll just come back to it. So I went back on this blue tape is about V4. I say V4, V5-ish. It's a range. And I love doing that leap. So what was challenging on that climb is they were all jugs, so it was not hard to hold. It's just that if you messed up your sequence, left, right, or right, left, it was hard to adjust in the climb. But it was a super fun climb. This is the end of my day one of the week. And I did V3s and V2s, like super easy one to just work on my endurance. I try to skip moves as well. Just try to make them a little bit harder. It's funny, sometimes I don't trust big holds as well, like this. That's the thing, when you have big footholds, I noticed that I tend to not pay attention as much because, well, they're much bigger, so I kind of climb loosely. And this is where I found that I almost hurt myself the more often because it kind of becomes cruise control, so you don't pay as much attention, and there's still big holds that you could slip easily from them if you don't pay attention. So that's a good training too for that. I'm gonna start directly on this very challenging slab for me. Brushing the holds made me feel more secure, but nope, it felt like Groundhog Day. See, at this spot right there, I had a little more control on that hold because there's a dude that told me, just try to stand on it and you'll see that you won't slip. And as you see right now, it's just my feet, I'm leaning against the wall. And that was the first time I was actually able to put my foot up there. My problem with that is, the slant is this slant, is that a word? Angled the opposite direction. That was the part that was so scary to me. It just, my brain couldn't register, like, just push on your leg. I was talking to myself right there. I was trying to, I just couldn't do it. So I used that hold to push myself, well, to pull myself up and just test the hold. And I knew that I wasn't gonna slip, but even though I knew it, I still couldn't do it. So this is slab number 1 of day 3. Oh, that was about a V3. Green tape at our gym is about V3, but again, it's a range, so it could be anywhere from hard V2 to easy V4. So let's call it V3. This is slab number 2. This one gave me a hard time, just the start. Took me about minimum 5 times just for me to be able to stand like this. You see, I was able to extend my left arm and I didn't start with the right foot. See, I was about to do a foot switch. I think the problem is I wasn't comfortable at all on the hold, so it was hard as well to make a foot switch. I was just adding a movement to the boulder, which wasn't necessary. I stay up there for a little while until so at some point I just decided to try another one. This is on the same wall. It's still a blue tape, so it's supposed to be the same kind of level. I found it super easy compared to the other one. It was still sketchy. I still didn't like it. It sucked. I was able to do it, I think, in 2-3 tries. Right there, my foot sequence was messed up a little bit. It should have been the other way around, so that's why I kind of gave up. And when I started again, I did the foot switch over there, and that helped me out a lot. It was like this little... you can't see it because it's my friend Renee's butt in the shot, but I did match it.
C'est sketch en Chris la fin.
And then I wanted to practice a little bit of slopers because slopers are one of my weaknesses as well, but my forearms were a little bit beat by that point. But I was happy with the progress I made with that one. See, my problem was right there, I was cutting loose from the wall, and this is my second try. And I really push my abs and my hips towards the wall. With a high foot, it was easier to do. And this is pretty much the furthest I got on this one. It was great progress, so I was happy with it. It took me a minute there. Jesus Christ. Come on. It's funny how when you look back at yourself climbing, you're like, why the fuck was I so hesitant? It was right there. But after that, it was pretty straightforward. Still very sketchy footwork on that one. I wasn't a big fan. I think it's considered a slab because the wall is a little bit tilting on the other way. I don't know what's the proper name for that. And then this V5, V6, that was a hard V5, so it's the first time that I was doing some sort of movement like this, and I couldn't even get that little crimp. It was a very crimpy climb. So right there's a guy that was explaining to me that the movement was kind of an interrogation point upside down. That's what I had to do. He was telling me to focus on staying my arms straight and focus on where my foot was gonna go. Once my foot was on there, think about your hand.
How does it feel?
Ow! Ow! I got snot. I should have fuck. Wow, that was not easy. Okay, so that's a post-workout. We finished our climbing of the weekend, and I'm actually made a lot of progress on slabs, which makes me very happy. How about you, Renee?
I am quite happy. I felt like I was teaching a bunch of people how to do that slab that you were trying.
Stupid slab and stupid winter.
But I don't know, it was exciting to understand how a climb works and
before everybody else.
Before everyone else, yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen often. So I was like, oh cool, this is nice. I can at least like share how I'm doing it and how I'm trying it.
This is after 5 hours. What, 4 hours of climbing at the gym. It messed your fingers up a little bit. This little machine right there is one of the best things that I've bought in a long time. It's great. Let's try a little bit of campusing to warm up the back. I did bash one of my fingers on my first try though. It's not fun. Peels off a little bit of skin where it bends. It really sucks, but it's a great back training. Also, it's fun. It's kind of, I like the be able to move with the swing of the body, and even the decline campusing is quite fun as well. It makes me understand more my body in the space. And right away I was back doing this one before to change it. I was obsessed with it. First move was, I was dialed in, is just that barn door. I couldn't understand how to hold on that thing.
It's just a wall, no need to be mad at the wall. I am the problem, not the wall.
I was getting so pissed off, it's insane. As soon as you release a little bit of weight off your foot, you slip. And that was the part that I wasn't understanding properly. So see, right now I'm putting my foot up, and I like to see where I put my feet. And I couldn't, so that made it a little bit harder. So I needed to just come back and reposition myself. It was to grab that jug as high as possible. Well, it's a sloper, but the way to put it's a jug. And then I pushed my hips towards the wall, and I kind of grabbed the under of the other little volume there. From there, I was able to do my foot switch. The rest I could rely on my back and my arm strength, so that part was super easy for me.
Il reste, faut la faire une deuxième fois maintenant.
I was saying that I needed to do it a second time, because if I can't do it a second time, it's not a real win. It could just be luck. And as you can see, it was just dialed in. I was able to do it over and over again. That feels so good when you do it again and you're like, okay, that's it. It's in. Like, it's not hard anymore. It just feels super easy. I just love when that happens. And then this is my friend Pierre, who was cheering me on, and I tried this thing. Look at this. I was frozen there for like a full minute. It felt like a minute. But yeah, I couldn't. That slope, I was talking to myself and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna launch and I'm gonna go grab, and I froze. So what I did instead is I launched up and I grabbed the top of the wall. And you know what? That was enough for me. Just this part took so much out of my energy. And I did try it again. I don't know how many times. When I say 50 times, I'm not exaggerating. People were looking at me like, fucking do it already. But I just couldn't do it. And I know that, like, I stood on it. I knew, like, it was gonna take a lot for me to slip and, like, just fall on my head. My brain couldn't do it. So I still see it as a win. Even though it was super scary, I practiced it every day of the week that I went. So after that, just to feel good, I went on a V6. Yeah, I'll see you soon.